Hello, it's Who Time, and today we're talking about Doctor Who custom figures. I'll give you some tips and advice on how to make them, plus some alternative options if you're less keen on customising yourself, but still want to build your collection. In short, it comes down to two categories, DIY or buy. First, let's kick off with DIY, or do it yourself, and go to me in the front garden. Hello, well, welcome to outside my house. Want to learn how to make custom figures? Well, you've come to the right place. So basically there are two subcategories within DIY. First, you've got kit bashing or figure bashing. That sounds a bit wrong, we'll stick with kit bashing. If you don't know what that is, it's basically when you get parts from different, what it originally meant was when you get those sort of airplane sets or like Warhammer sets and you take parts from different sets and make something new. Similarly here, you basically take figures from different sets or just different figures and you merge them together to make something new. So I'm working on down here, let's have a little look, on a Time and the Rani 7th Doctor. So I've basically taken a Terror of the Vervoids Colin Baker, I don't know where his head's gone, but and then taken a 7th Doctor from the Silver Nemesis B&M set. I'm just taking the head off that, stuck it on the Terror of the Vervoids Colin, and then I'm going to paint Sylve's legs to look like this. Obviously I've got to repaint the waistcoat here, and then you've got a Time and the Rani 7th Doctor. Let me show you what else I've got on the go as well. Basically got a whole box. Got a Weird Space Cyberman on the go. He's almost done, so I should do him. I plan to do some Invasion of Time Sontarans, that's why I've got him. So I've got Steyer's legs on a Link Sontaran. So I can keep the wand holster basically, that's why I've done that. What else have I got? I'm doing an Invasion of Time Tom. Basically I'm just taking this floppy tie and sticking it on Tom, painting it white, and that's effectively as close as you can get. This is using a Sharda Tom from the Sharda B&M set. What else have we got? I've got an Auton. I plan to tend to a police officer, like the ones seen in Terror of the Autons, driving 3rd Doctor and Joe around for that terrifying cliffhanger. That'd be great. Ah, well this one actually bought off eBay, but I'm just going to repaint, so they've obviously used this SV7 robot as a base. Oh! Terror of the Autons Delgado. Literally just taken a Roger Delgado head and stuck it on one of these Primeval figures. I've got to paint him. What else have we got? Sarah Jane, I plan to turn this into a Genesis of the Daleks custom, basically turn this into a anorak, probably create a hood at the back here, make it look like a Series 12 Sarah Jane Smith. And then yeah, that's the other Sontaran. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a Kill the Moon Spiders with this, and repaint these. And then I'm planning to do some Terror of the Zygons customs as well. I know what you're thinking, Who Time? Just using the bits of the figures isn't good enough, you need to do some more. Well, that's where this other stuff comes in. You need to do some tooling to the figures to create new bits, effectively. So you basically need to buy this thing called Milliput. Forget it out, hang on. Basically you have these two bits of sort of Play-Doh type stuff, and you take bits of each and you mix them together, and then you can start moulding something, and then you leave it to dry and it hardens. So you can mould something and stick it on something and it will attach. You can make entirely new face sculpts with it, even entirely new figures if you want, and completely transform figures. Literally covering an entire figure in this stuff and then just sculpting. Let me show you a few examples I've got upstairs. Just teleported back to my study, just so you know what I mean. I used Milliput on this bloke's face and then just painted it. So I created an open mouth Zygon. Literally just squidged it on here, started carving around, let it set and then painted it. And then that's it. And there he is back in place. Similarly, popping over to my 3rd Doctor era, I made a little troll doll from Terror of the Autons. That's entirely made out of basically Milliput. Here's a closer look. Literally entirely made out of that Play-Doh stuff. And I just painted it. Not bad. Look who's joined the party. So you can buy this basically in a lot of DIY stores, probably like Hobbycraft. I got this from Amazon, so online is always a good shout. Warhammer also does their own version of it. It's called Green Stuff. Like this. This is a really old version, but it's the same principle. One second. You've got these two bits, the blue and the green. You take bits of each, mix them together, turns into a nice dark green colour, and then you mould it as you want. They've also got a liquid version of it. I've got that as well. Liquid green stuff. That also works a treat as well. But what about painting it, I hear you say? Well, I just use all the Warhammer stuff. So this is my collection. just pop into a shop or basically order online. A lot of hobby craft shops have these kind of things. If you do Hornby things or things like that, they'll have paints as well. I like the Warhammer ones in particular. They're very good quality, and they have all the washes and textured paints, things that act as a base and then things that act as layers. So it's a good range. That is a bit expensive, but you know, it works perfectly with this kind of thing. So I did say there were two subcategories under DIY. There was obviously the tooling, kitbashing. The other thing was 3D prints. That's what we come on to next. So I've actually 3D printed, not myself, but got someone else to do it, an online shop. Like a Wirren, I've got a Zarbi down here, but I've got all the bits printed. Whoa, time slip. Well, fortunate is that you've come slightly forward in time. And now you can see the 3D prints being assembled. So here's a Wirren in the works. Missing a couple of arms, so I need to get those printed. And here's the Zarbi. He's just drying. He's in the works as well. Then I hear you ask, where did they come from? Well, good question. There's a bloke called Troy Wood who basically designs all these figures in some sort of CAD, so I don't know what it's called, but a design software. And he has them for free on his website. So I'll put the links in the description and show them up on the screen here. He's got a huge selection. I've basically printed them all. I went to a shop and they tried to balance the amount of fill and the cost, so it's not too much. But I spent 500 quid doing most of the stuff on his website. But it's all fantastic. If you have a look upstairs once again, you'll see I've got a Yeti. And here he is. He's an entirely 3D print. Let's break him out. So he has got some movement. Move his arms a bit. And he's got a ball in here. 1 second. Oh, dropped it. Where'd it go? Ah, here it is. So that's the ball. It goes inside the Yeti up here. And goes back in there. So yeah, Abominable Snowman Yeti version. Lovely. So I used a company called 3D Rapid Print. I'll put the link in the description. Show you a little quick excerpt of the website here. They did really good customer service and talked me through a lot of stuff. Yeah, it was good. Those are the two things really. Tooling and kit bashing, or 3D prints. Now let's go back to the studio / my study. And welcome back to the study. Oh, time slip. Ah, oh, actually it's quite useful that you've had a little bit of a time slip there, going forward in time, because I've just finished a couple of other customs. Let's go take a look. First off, we have a Wheeling Space Sideman. Very pleased with how he's turned out. He's looking great. He basically uses a mixture of the Invasion Sideman and a Tomb Sideman and then some extra bits. Yeah, very pleased. Next up we have a 4th Doctor variant, as he's seen in the Invasion of Time. Basically I've nicked a cravat off a Pertwee, painted it white, cut around the back of it, and then glued it on there. And I've also glued his scarf so it's close together, so it's more like how he looked in the episode. Yeah, he's come out well as well. Rightio! Well, if you're less artistically inclined, or can't be arsed, then you do have another option. You have another way of building your collection with customs. And that's right, you've probably guessed it. It's buying customs off people who make them. So I do have a few recommendations. Let's kick things off. First off, there's this amazing chap called Rob White. He has an account on Flickr, and he has a huge number of customs, pretty much from all the eras. Well, very close. He's certainly working towards getting customs for all the eras of the show. He's certainly got a selection of 1st Doctor figures, 3rd Doctor, 2 batches of 4th Doctor. You got the first 3 seasons and then the later seasons. Sort of 2 batches. You've got the 5th Doctor era, 6th Doctor he's got, and 7th Doctor. He's got a selection for the 10th Doctor, and the 11th Doctor, and the 12th Doctor. As you can see, he's made a huge number. It is truly amazingly detailed and masterful work. He's also got pictures of figures in progress, which is interesting. You can see that he's used existing mass-produced figures as a base, not just Doctor Who 5-inch figures, but stuff from other franchises, then used Milliput on top of it, sculpted, and created new figures. It's definitely worth taking a look. I'll put a link in the description below. I inadvertently stumbled across Rob White's account when I was actually Googling Capaldi era Doctor Who 5-inch figures and news about that. Obviously we didn't get a huge amount of those, but I stumbled across his account, saw what he'd made and thought, I've got to have some. So I pinged him a message via Flickr and commissioned some. So I've got a load, came in 3 batches, and it took quite a long time for them all to come, but it's worth it. And I do have another video planned to show off those figures, so keep an eye out for a 12th Doctor era figure collection video. Your next option is eBay. At this very moment there are a few good customs on there. I noticed there's a John Smith figure from the Human Nature Family of Blood 2-parter. There's also a Wirren from Ark in Space, and there's also Madame Vastra and Jenny. Obviously there's a lot of rubbish on there as well, but you do get good stuff. And I do have a few recommendations just off eBay. First off, I particularly recommend an eBayer called Griff22_123. Pretty catchy name, isn't it? Anyway, he produces some excellent work, including Doctor and Companion variations. He's done an Ace from The Curse of Fenric in period dress. He's done a 7th Doctor and Master from Survival. Leela from Talons of Wang Chiang in the Victorian dress. He's done a 4th Doctor from the Horror of Fang Rock. That also came with a Rutan, I believe, as well. He's done a Romana with a K9 from Creature from the Pit. He's also done a couple of Sarah Jane Smiths. He's done one from the Time Warrior, and he's also done one from the Hand of Fear. He also did a 4th Doctor from the Hand of Fear to go with it. He does some incredible monster customs as well, often of lesser known creatures, the deep cuts. Like he's done one of the Garm from Terminus. He's done the terrifying armadillo creature from the otherwise perfect Caves of Androzani. He's done a Marshman from Full Circle. Also done a Crinoid, but not the humanoid form version, but the one that's in between the humanoid version and the giant mansion-sized plant. He's done Odin and the Maya from the Series 9 episode The Girl Who Died. Also, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, an Uxarian from Colony in Space. He's also done a Dreg from Orphan 55 in Series 12. I haven't commissioned anything off him yet, but I'm sure he's open to it. He's already selling on eBay. Or you can just wait to see what appears on his items for sale list. Either way, the link is in the description below. Last but not least, you may know the YouTuber Captain Jimmy Pie, who is a master of Doctor Who customs. Check out his channel if you haven't already. He has a shop on eBay and I believe on Etsy as well. Links will be in the description below, where he's selling a number of custom 3D printed heads for the Master and the Doctor. You can either buy them unpainted or painted as well. I think it's 10 quid for an unpainted head and 15 quid for a painted head. Personally, I'm quite tempted to get the Terror of the Zygons 4th Doctor with the Bonnie hat. I'm also tempted to get the Deadly Assassin 4th Doctor with his Time Lord hat. And that's your lot, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and has either inspired you to go and start customizing yourself or made you want to go and buy some customs off people. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click on that bell for notifications. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @WhoTimeUK. Cheers guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.